One Piece chapter 1138 is crazy. It might be the most important chapter ever released in the series. Me and my friend Akil talked about it for about 2 hours and we came up with some crazy theories that might just be correct, you know? Put this on a second monitor while you're sleeping, while you're driving to work, something like that. Let us know if we cooked. I just want to preface with this is like definitely the best chapter I've read so far since I've caught up. Like 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I caught up near the end of Egghead. I caught up when the anime was still doing the Hachinosu flashback, or not flashback, but cutaway. And then I've been reading. I read from then up to like the chapter when Saturn died was I think the first chapter that I read weekly. And I don't know. By far, I think this is at least my best experience as a weekly reader, reading a new chapter.
Yeah, like the community coming together and like talking about the chapter. It really, this is kind of like what it was like during like Gear 5 and shit. Like, just like, holy shit, what is going on? Like, this is something like we didn't think it would go this far, this fast at least.
And I feel like it's really cool seeing stuff that's like very vaguely hinted at as being sort of a part of that big picture, like confirmed a part of that big picture, and then stuff that's new that you can kind of infer based on old stuff. But we'll get to the mural at the end. Let's go from the beginning.
For sure.
The beginning is this fucking guy who's who, bro. You think the title is ironic? Like it was who's who all along. Like who else? Who could it have been? You know.
I think it definitely is. Like that's like some like Oda tier comedy.
Because it was definitely him, based on the mask. But you know, he's all decked out in Wano garb. He's no longer in the Beast Pirates fit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know where this is going.
I mean, I think he's just like a really bad guy, like inherently. You know what I mean? And he's just like, fuck it, I'm a Kaido or not. I'm gonna just do my own thing, like chill.
I saw someone saying that if this is Yamato's journey to mirror Odin's journey, what if Yamato goes around and beats up all the Tobiropo and recruits them as vassals like Odin did to all the troublemakers around Wano?
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, we need a big redemption for who's who for that to work. Like that dude is like just straight up like racist, like
casually racist. He's stealing women to be in his hideout. We need a big redemption for who's who. But I mean, I don't know. Odin saved the troublemakers of Wano before. I don't know if you could say who's a troublemaker, but
I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes. I mean,
also
the thing is, I want this. I mean, like, okay, pre Elbaph, pre this at least, all the cover stories were like so related to like what was going on, and like the story, like the Vegapunk Caesar clown, like the Aokiji going to take pudding,
the Grand Fleet stuff, and like Barto being attacked by Shanks.
Yeah, totally. Everything was like relevant, and this feels a little like a B story. I think it's gonna like I think someone's gonna come to Wano, maybe Blackbeard, or something is gonna happen.
Blackbeard does know that Pluton's there now, so
exactly. I think by the end of this cover story, we're gonna get some crazy revelation that we probably won't come back to.
You know, I think I don't know where I heard this from, but I've definitely heard this from somewhere. But I do like the idea that who's who is a 3-eye tribe person.
Whoa!
Because we even in the flashback, his hair was covering his face.
You think he's a three-eyed Oni? Like he's
like three-eye ancient giant blood. You know, I mean he is big as hell in this cover specifically.
He is. Yeah, he is. So, and he seems to be like an ancient giant. I mean, like Oni, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got the eye in the center of his chest. It has the symbolism of the third eye. You know. And,
okay.
So I mean, in the previous cover story, we had Blackbeard get a 3-eye clan. What if in this cover story, Yamato Shanks gets a 3-eye clan? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I guess like in the race for the One Piece, like we're missing, like Shanks and Buggy are missing, like
everyone needs someone to read the poneglyphs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, Crocodile and Cross Guild knows Robin can read it, so maybe they'll go after her again, but I don't know if that'll be like some trite shit, because they've done that twice now. I mean, like Enies Lobby and in Wano, there was that little subplot of them going after, like CP0 was going after Robin a little bit.
Exactly. But, yeah, so, I feel like they have to figure out different means to do that. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, and I mean, if
I bet they're gonna say like the man marked by flames knows how to read poneglyphs or some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
like
something like that.
Just to add another player,
or he's 3i himself. I don't know, because I feel like that's one of the. I mean, we'll get to it when we get to the mural, but I was thinking like a lot of the stuff that, like a lot of the mysteries being revealed in the mural are interesting, but it's also interesting what is left out of the mural. And stuff like 3i Tribe, anything related to like stuff that could be Blackbeard, stuff like that's not in the mural. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll get there. Okay, let's start the chapter. Yeah. So we got Shanks and Gunko, not Shanks, Shamrock and Gunko after they beat the hell out of Loki. And then, I mean, Loki can see somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really unclear like what's going on. I think we talked about it in person, but like it really reminds me of how like Luffy could see Katakuri during their fight and shit. Yeah, I don't know like what exactly it would be. Of course, it could also be like a voice of all things type situation.
Yeah, it could be like it could be advanced observation hockey, or it could be as simple as just he can see through the bandages, like they're not fully opaque. Like, I don't know. But I mean, I think it's somewhat intentional that his eyes are covered, other than just it looks cool. So
like my big like as soon as he was introduced, my whole thing was like, oh, his devil fruit incorporates his eyes somehow, and that's the only reason they're covered up. Or it's like an Oda level gag, and he has really funny eyes.
Yeah, they're like Peckham's, or like
exactly
beautiful as fuck. They're like Gojo eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunko's flexing on him. Hold your tongue, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, confirmed that Shanks is a twin. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's confirmed here. I mean,
the bigger, crazier thing is it's confirmed that Shanks went back.
So I think, at least right now, my primary thought is that Roger told Shanks his lineage, and that's what Shanks was crying about.
Yeah.
In the Odin flashback.
That's like the first thing that like I was thinking about too.
And that's the reason why he didn't want to go for the One Piece as soon as the Roger Pirates disbanded. Like, he wanted to get in, maybe just meet his family first, and then he met them and did not fuck with them, and then left.
Yeah, I will say there is one. I totally agree with you. That's exactly what I thought. But I just realized as soon as that happened, didn't he ask Buggy to like join him or something? Like, didn't he say something like that?
Oh,
wasn't he like, let's? It happened during the chapter or now episode where Buggy was like, I want to find the One Piece too, you know, like that got animated? I think it got animated.
Yeah, that got
animated.
Maybe it didn't. That was one of the most recent episodes.
Yeah. It happened during that chapter where like Buggy's like, I want to find the One Piece too. There's a flashback where Shanks is like, dude, just join me. But then like, I don't know, Buggy like tweaks about it or something. Maybe, but did Shanks say we can't go for the One Piece now? I should like know what this is.
But I think,
whatever.
Well, I think the question is whether he went as a kid or if he grew up and then.
I think he has to go as a kid. I think there's like no.
Because I think
he has to go before he meets Luffy. Like that's the important. And I think it would make sense if he went before, you know, he met Yasop and stuff. Like, I think
like before he set out made the Red Hair Pirates. Because if Red Hair Pirates already exist, they're not letting him up into Mary Joie.
Yeah,
I mean, he was a
exactly.
Roger pirate, and they let him up into Mary Joie. I don't know.
I think okay, look, I think it could have very easily been played as, oh, the Roger Pirates kidnapped my child, a celestial dragon. You know, it could have easily been
Yeah.
played out like that. And he could have been let back like, oh, return to your home type situation. And he goes up there and he meets his brother. And I bet you it's like a very similar Sanji situation where like,
Yeah.
you know, Judge and his brothers. And he's like, wait, this sucks. Like this is fucking they're evil. And he runs away.
It doesn't seem that Shamrock has hate for Shanks in what he says.
I agree.
He kind of states the facts pretty plainly. Like he returned, and he says the hate in his words is toward the world, not towards him.
Yeah. I agree with that.
He recognizes him as his brother, and he doesn't say like, or he used to be my brother or something. He recognizes him as his twin, and he just tells him what happened. So like, I don't know, maybe Shamrock like he is disappointed that Shanks chose not to be in Mary Joie, but like doesn't have ill will toward him. I don't know. That would be an interesting dynamic.
I can totally see a situation where like they got along kind of.
Yeah.
Or they were like good brothers or whatever. But obviously Shanks did not fuck with what they were doing up there. Like they still didn't really explain like about the slaves, like underground Mary Joie and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I'll get
empowering
to
up.
that. I was thinking about that.
Okay, because later in the mural.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Yeah.
But do you think Shanks's sword, Griffin, is like Cerberus? Or Cerberus?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
I still think Shanks is fully. Look, giving Shamrock the Devil Fruit sword is a really fun way of being like, hey, he's like Shanks, but not quite. You know,
yeah.
But do you think Shanks is the hockey man of the verse? Like,
it's the same type of sword, though. Do you think he got it from Mary Joie? You think it is like his birthright sword or whatever?
That'd be fucking awesome. I mean, I don't know if Oda will ever get. It's one of those things where Oda does not need to get into this at all. Yeah. It's not important at all. But like, what's up with the cool hilted swords? You know what I mean? Like, what's up with them? Because there's only 4, and they're all really cool characters who have them. And like, it seems like in One Piece, all the cool swords other than that are like samurai based. They're all like
these are sabers. Like they're not katanas.
Yeah, literally every other than Yoru and these 4 swords, every other sword is like kind of Japanese inspired. Like even Whitebeard's Kurimo or whatever it's called. That's a Japanese based like sword, or like
the
whatever the hell
Herald sword that may or may not be in Jarl's head right now is sort of like a European sword style.
Yeah, that's true. That could be a good sword. But I'm just thinking of like we just got recently revealed that like Fujitora's sword is like supreme grade, and that's like his whole thing is like Wano as hell. So I mean, I don't know.
But
if
apparently not. Apparently he's not from Wano though. That was confirmed.
I don't think it's confirmed. I bet you it's like a very similar to Zoro situation where like they like left Wano and then repopulated or whatever. Anyway, it's a tangent thing.
Yeah, Loki. I almost said Luki, bro. Loki. I think he's definitely gonna beat up one of them. That's like, I think that's gonna be how he shows his power. Is
Shamrock or Shanks or Gunko?
Either Shamrock or Gunko. He's gonna show his power by beating up one of them, by absolutely destroying one of them.
I was just watching the Hidden Island stream about this, and I have a point that's like, okay, Loki now has a vendetta on both Shanks and Shamrock. And we know Kid probably doesn't like Shanks either right now. They have like a common enemy here, and like maybe Kid sees Shamrock and is like, man, it's on site, you know, like something like.
What if Kid gets fucked by Shamrock too? What if
I don't want to do that.
what if he, when he washes up on shore, he gets up on shore and he sees Shamrock, and then Shamrock just like, I don't know, owns him just like Shanks did.
That would be devastating for like the 10 kid fans left. It would be
It'd be
devastating.
so devastating.
Devastating.
But
Yeah.
so Shamrock uses his ability, the Cerberus, and
Yeah.
I was watching Annie's Lobby, and it was crazy because the Frankie family, they mention that they've heard of the myth of Cerberus in Annie's Lobby, and I was like, what the that's crazy.
No, in Thriller Bark, like when they first get there, they talk Cerberus because there's a 3-headed dog, one with a fox, but
so there's three. There's actually 3 mentions of it in Syrup Village. Usopp said the stray dog was Cerberus, and then in Annie's Lobby, the Frankie family say that Baskerville was like the myth of Cerberus, and then in Thriller Bark, there's a Cerberus, and now it's real. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Might just be some retconnage, or just like it's just a common myth, so he just used it, but multiple times. But it's cool. Yeah. It's got the black cloud scarf, so I feel like it's either an I think it would be sick if it was an awakened mythical Zoan inside the sword, and that's how he's able to like summon it outside of the sword.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm with that.
Yeah, because
I'm with that.
Because it completely detaches from the sword.
Yeah.
And it's not like the sword transformed completely into the creature. Like, he's still holding the sword, but the sword is able to completely summon the creature completely detached. Yeah, so maybe that's the distinction of an awakened.
At the very end, he's able to like get the dog's body back in the sword,
but leave the head. Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, it seems like some complete separation from the inanimate object and devil fruit. Yeah, it's some crazy shit right now.
Yeah. So it's either that, or it is one of the bestowed demons, like the Gorosei could be.
It is interesting that like it doesn't say the fruit name, and it's just like Cerberus. Very similar to the 5 Gorosei when they were just saying they just said the name.
What I forgot, I don't have the credit of this, but it was definitely a video. But the Gorosei could still be awakened Zoan fruits, but awakened in the way like the jailer beasts, where they completely set aside their humanity and then let the Zoan take over. But the Zoans that took over are the demons, so they're not.
So they have like more sentience.
So yeah, they have more sentience, and that's why they act like they're above humans, because they are no longer humans. It's completely the demons taking over.
I will say, it seems like this kind of counters that.
You think?
I mean, it's not like the Cerberus is talking.
Well, the Cerberus is a beast. It's not like a demon.
I guess that's
it's
true.
like a monster, but it's not like a.
I'm not
like
too familiar with the yokai.
I don't know, me neither, but I feel like.
I get what you're saying though. Like, the actual demons are like taking over.
Yeah, so like it's still devil fruits that gave them the powers, but they awakened in the way that the fruit, the demon inside the fruit, completely took over their being.
Right.
And the whoever it was, I forgot, but they said that the jailer beasts were introduced as just like the Minotaur, not like the person who ate the Minotaur fruit, you know? So and they are confirmed to be awakened Zoan users. So that's interesting. Could be what happened there. Loki gets this insane attack. He's gonna tank it because no way he dies there, but that's an insane attack. And Gunko flies away on the arrow bird, which is very fire.
Yeah.
Like when we read it live, we both got Akatsuki vibes from it, which is kind of sick.
This is like crazy Akatsuki vibes, like like a group flying away on a plane on a bird.
Yeah, wearing like the dark cloaks. Kind of fire. Um, and then Luffy's like, I think it's so funny that Luffy's just immediately right. He's like, no way Shanks would do this. It's got to be someone that looks like him.
It's hilarious because like that's got to be like some meta joke of like
Yeah.
the dumbest possible answer being true, and like
Yeah.
back when this was an idea, it was the dumbest possible idea, and now
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in the castle, right? The teleport is in the castle. Do you think if
So you think you need to leave, they need to go back to the castle?
not necessarily, because I don't think they're gonna leave. I think they're just gonna contact Merijwa with like a Dendemushi or something. But the next one that comes, because they're getting another one. If he's not like right outside on a ship, like we talked about, could possibly be the case. But
Yeah.
if he gets teleported in, it's gonna be in the castle with Luffy and all of them. So
True.
So maybe they will meet the next Holy Knight.
The third one's gonna meet Luffy straight away. Like
Yeah.
that'd be kind of funny. Yeah.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
Cerberus is like the guardian of hell usually, right? Or like the underworld.
Yeah.
Makes sense that it's from Merijwa, right? Like Sabo equated it to hell at the top of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoro said he would become the king of hell.
Yeah, this is giving like all of these like dead like underworldly like figures, whatever. They're giving Zoro. But it's 3 swords. Come on,
Like it's 3 swords. Zoro said he'd be the king of hell, who has like usually the devil, the king of hell, usually has like Cerberus on a leash. You know, it would be fire if Shamrock versus Zoro happened. That's what I'm calling, and that's what I kind of hope happens. But it would also be fire if Zoro fought Gunko because of her arrow attacks and the Zoro being directionally challenged and like that not working on him would be so funny.
I think like literally any matchup that comes out of these two is going to be awesome. Like Oda could go so many different ways, and they're all going to be good. But yeah, I do want Luffy to face off again. I was just watching Hidden Island stream, and he was talking about like whether or not you think the Shanks Shamrock stuff is like good or bad. If you think the evil twin is good or bad, it doesn't matter. Like it's whatever. But the idea that like, you know, the biggest criticism for Gear 5 fights right now is that like it'll never be serious. This is the one time it can be kind of serious because like Luffy's like, you know, mentor figure is right in front of him. Like, how funny can he really take it? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's just like, I don't know. A lot of opportunities for awesome stuff to here.
I agree. So then Luffy talks about Shanks' family and the Roger Pirates, and the silhouette heavily inferred to be Gabon, just based on
out the roof right now, man.
I always believed.
Me too, bro. Like, yeah. I mean, I will be honest. There was a part of me when I first saw like the cover story with him and Crocus that it could be Shiki, like you know, like an old head Shiki is like, oh, you know, let's put the past behind us. We're like 2 like goats just like chilling. But yeah, I think it's very much implied that it's got to be Gabon.
So I hope that's next chapter.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could be like a Rayleigh Kizaru situation where like if it is Gabon and like a Holy Knight shows up right in front of him, Gabon can flex.
That's what I'm looking at. Like a fight breaks out, and the thing is, it's hard to imagine Luffy struggling at all at this point.
I don't necessarily think he's gonna come in and save them, but more like he's just gonna be there when the Holy Knight shows up, and he can flex immediately. Like he's able to go toe to toe with them. That'd be fire.
Yeah, I agree. I think like I don't know. It's hard to scale the Holy Knights right now because like there's no way in my mind. It like Shamrock's awesome introduction. Everything's great. He just hasn't earned the right to be like above Shanks right now.
I don't think he's above or even on par.
That's my opinion too. I
think there's no way.
Okay, but if he's not at that level, I don't think like he's not stronger than Kaido, like, you know what I mean? Like Luffy has like scaled the top. Like he's like he's at the top. So it's hard to like think of like
I think it's gotta be maybe like a Gorosei situation where it's Luffy versus like the Holy Knights, like plural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's running gauntlet. But I do think I don't think the Holy Knights go down here. They're definitely like an end game battle.
And I think
like
specifically since the Revolutionary Army brought them up, I feel like they've got to fight the Revolutionary Army.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many matchups that could happen at the end, but what I was getting at was like maybe like the Holy Knights, you know, they see Luffy, a Yonko, they see an ex-Roger pirate, they see like, you know, the warrior pirates, whatever the hell, and maybe they're like, all right, maybe we got to dip because we're not. There's no way in hell we
like
can take
for
all
this final war. I feel like the opposing side cannot just be Emu and the Gorsei. Like there's so much against it right now. Like the Straw Hats and the Grand Fleet and all their allies is huge. It can't be. So I feel like the Holy Knights can't go down in Elbaph. They have to be on the side of the world government for the final war, just based on a numbers basis.
I totally agree, and I feel like was about to say, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with the Seraphim. They're like such a unclear thing right now because
Bonnie has them right now. Bonnie commands them, right? She commands all the pacifistas because Vegapunk put in that little thing, that little piece of code that Bonnie commands all the pacifistas.
Right.
She's like, on top of the ladder above the Gorsei.
Is that really what happened? I forgot.
Maybe it's all the Kuma clones, so maybe it's all the original pacifistas. Yeah, I'm not sure if the Seraphim are in there, but at least to me was my understanding that Bonnie commands
I thought it was
all the pacifistas.
I thought it was like a thing where Vegapunk was like, I could never program like someone that looks like your father to kill you, you know, like type situation. But yeah, I actually don't know but what I was thinking of before you brought that up was like the Seraphim, like especially with like the Hancock Seraphim, it really seemed this way. There seems to be an argument of free will, like based in there somewhere. And God's controlling, like even if they're synthetic, they're still Lunarians. I don't know. There's something there. I feel like when they mature, they could go against the government. But again, the government needs more like people to like go against. But yeah,
true. Yeah, I think I don't know. It would be cool if we get more Seraphim versus people fights. But I think it's also just a matter of Bonnie getting in contact with them, because like,
and also. Yeah, you're totally right. We haven't even seen the Doflamingo, Moria, and Crocodile Seraphim
in action. Yeah, so like they're still under the control. Those three at least are still under the control of the government until Bonnie says something. Yeah. But move on. I love Ripley holding Frankie like a fucking action figure. That's hilarious.
It's so funny.
And I like that they're respecting Saul's order to not cut down any of the Atom wood. And then so the people who carved the mural, are you taking Ripley's words to be true that they are children's carvings or not?
Since they're on Elbaph and this was a warland, the Giants had won this side of the battle or whatever, right? So whatever they are, they're kids of this is my headcanon now. They're the kids of the people who fought in the war. And remember, Giants can live up to like 120 years. So this can be like literally the next generation after the war.
So this is like a secondary source, basically. This is the drawings of the children of the warriors who experienced the battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally. That's exactly what I think it is. I think like there are people who fought in the war. They had kids. They live on Elbaph now, and their kids hear the story about Nika and this war and these like they're probably talking about the ancient kingdom. It doesn't exist anymore. And they're like, wow, my dad's age was so different, and they just drew it all together on this wall. That's what I think it is.
So, I've seen so many people saying that the left side is the third world, a prediction of the future.
Nonsense.
This is absolutely Joy Boy's crew. That's got to be what it is. You see Emmett right there. You literally see Emmett right there.
All the second world. This is all the second world. I understand why people would want to think, because it's reading from right to left, and you see the first to the third world, that people think, oh, chronologically it makes sense. But like, other than maybe the red serpent that people are associating with,
the right half might be the first world, but maybe even like the right sliver might be the first world.
Okay, look, I have a counter to like the red serpent argument, but I still think it's all the second world. I think it's all the second world.
So, I think at least our first reading, that's exactly what we thought it was. We thought it was all the second world, because these are stories that are being passed down by the people who lived during the Void Century.
Yes. And it's like pretty much 100% confirmed the second world is the Void Century. So it just makes sense.
I think people are saying the second world is only the Void Century, but it's not. I think there was a considerable period of time after the first world, after the first calamity or whatever, until the Void Century. And
I agree. I think the Void Century is just like the inciting event for the world to change.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like, there was like post the first calamity, whatever the fuck that was, it starts the second world.
Yeah. And that time in between the calamity and the end of the Void Century is much bigger than just 100 years, I believe.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. It's like hard to even tell exactly when. Yeah. And we talked about it before, but like the Tuntata, like when they were first being introduced, they talked about an era way before the Void Century where they were enslaved. So there was a period of time, they called it the era of slavery or whatever. Period of time, I presume, after the first calamity and before the Void Century, where like slavery was a big thing.
Because it was, or at least in the silhouette, it was a human king who was enslaving the Tontatas. It was the original. Exactly. It was the original king of Dressrosa who was enslaving the Tontatas, and and that has to be second world, because I think, and this is what I was talking about with like the theories that I was talking about. That first world was the gods of the world were the Lunarians, and they were potentially even enslaving all of humanity. And then humanity seized whatever the mother flame is, and then they kind of flipped the script. And then those kings of humanity then became the gods of the world in the second world.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I like the idea, especially since we know for sure that the Lunarians lived on the red line before the Celestial Dragon. When they say the Earth God raged, and with the Serpent of Hellfire, it's very much implying that the red line is formed. They probably like raged and like brought themselves higher than everyone else. I will say, just so I get it out of the way, the reason why I think it's all second world, including like the serpent over there, is I think the serpent just like managed to stay across time throughout all of Elbaph's history. If you go back to Little Garden, like Dory says, only thing that we can't break is the serpent, or like the blood serpent, which is the red line. And I think like that belief just like transcended Elbaph history, and I think it makes sense because it's like I think it's based off like Norse mythology, like some world-eating serpent or something like that. So like that one makes sense, like that, like, you know, the like whether it's the second world or the first world, it transcended history. Like they still believe it right now.
Yeah. And like the depictions of the dragon at the top and the serpent on the right could not be literal. Like they could be just a mythological depiction of the red line and whatever the dragon is meant to represent. Because I feel like no matter what,
I feel like you might have just said it. If we said the red line is symbolic of the Lunarians living on top of that, we have the dragons, the celestial dragons.
True.
Against them, that could just be that.
Yeah, it's like they see themselves, or just like the humans that ended up becoming the celestial dragons.
I don't think it's a coincidence either that the celestial dragons are on top of a tree, and the other tree that we know about is the Eve tree.
Yeah, in Marriage,
and that's in Marriage. Exactly.
So yeah, I think it could be just like this serpent versus dragon thing fighting each other because they're breathing fire at each other, it seems.
Yeah.
could just be the Lunarians who lived on the Red Line fighting the people who became the Celestial Dragons.
That's probably my favorite answer so far. Yeah.
And so did we skip anything? I don't really think so. Okay, I guess we're just in Mural World now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the left side is just the depiction of Joy Boy's crew exactly, and not like a representation of the races that were fighting with him. Like I think the smaller ones, like I don't know if there was a Wano Samurai on Joy Boy's crew or if just the Wano Samurai were allied like they are with the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
But I definitely think like the fact that there are seemingly two minks, like the wolf one and the small like squirrel like one, I think that is indicative of it being the individuals on Joy Boy's crew. Because if they were just showing, just what alliances were with Joy Boy in the Ancient Kingdom, they would just show one mink, I think, or the minks would be together. But the fact that there's two, the fact that there's two minks and they look way different, I think that's like Joy Boy just had two minks on his crew, you know?
I fucking hate like the cope argument of like this being like, you know, Luffy's crew somehow, and like that being like
There's
Chopper
no way, absolutely no way.
It's like, the hell up. Listen to yourself, Carrot. Who you're putting in this fucking lineup? Like, listen to yourself.
Where's Nami? Where's Robin? Where's Zoro? Where's Sanji? Where's Jinbei?
I see people say the sword that Nika's holding is Zoro.
That's gotta be crazy, bro. I think it's just Joy Boy just fought with the sword and shield. Like that's gotta be it. Yeah.
You know what's even hotter take that I think we spoke about it briefly, but my even hotter take is like that shadowy figure. It's not Emu.
That's what I'm thinking. People just assume that it's Emu, and I mean it might be.
This is all the second world. The crowned figure that's shown in the right side.
Yeah, I think that's Emu.
Emu. It's got to be Emu, and this is something else. This is something else and here's my insane, wacko, crazy theory that I'm not sure, like, no one's really talked about it, but we keep getting these ideas of, like, what is good, who is bad. You know, what Doflamingo said in Marineford, you know, like, what's justice? You know, Marines are good, pirates are bad, whatever, right? It's like that same idea of who's good and who's bad. And the idea of like these people never meeting, you know, what if this sounds a little crazy? What if like Emu was in the Ancient Kingdom?
I mean, like he was. Yeah.
It really seems like he was in the. At least that's how I'm reading this mural. Is that he was in the Ancient Kingdom? He was on the side of the quote unquote good guys, but found a way to like, you know, all the things aligned on like some Blackbeard scheming shit.
Literally exactly what Blackbeard's doing.
On some Blackbeard scheming shit.
Yeah.
Figured out a way for him to like create a power vacuum by, you know, pitting up like these good guy heroes, Joy Boy and his team against this bigger villain. Like, oh yeah, go face off on those guys. Yeah. Have them beat each other maybe or something like that. And then Emu comes in and sweeps it and like creates the 20 things and like
the big demon guy holding the sun. He's got big black wings. If it is the humans versus the Lunarians, that could be like the big bad Lunarian, you know?
True. Yeah, I think like there's so much room for like this to be like something else that we haven't seen. Maybe the source of Emu's powers or something like that. But I don't think it's Emu. Yeah,
I mean, because we've already seen Emu's transformation, at least a silhouette of it, and it does not look like that unless he has multiple transformations. It's like a salamander. It's not like it's like lizard like. He was like perched up on the wall. Like unless he has multiple transformations, which could go into why he could use Gonku's abilities as well. Maybe he has like every devil fruit ability. That would be kind of raw, but we've seen Emu's transformation and it does not look like that big monster.
Yeah, I think I am always gonna be a little skeptical on like fucking Oda shadows until like we see it. But
all the rest, like, the rest. I mean, that was at the beginning of the final saga. Oda knows what he's gonna make. The rest of the Gorosei, they were lined up with what their silhouette showed.
That's true. I'm with that. Yeah, I think those are like the biggest controversies that I got out of my way. Like some of the arguments I've seen online, like some of them are like so like not like I get that Oda is like the goat and stuff, but like I see people point at the bottom, like one of the bottom boats, to be like, yeah, that's the long arm tribe. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? That's the long arm tribe. That is a stick figure. Like, actually listen to yourself.
I think those are just people, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, just like the ancient kingdom had a force of people, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're equivalent to like the Grand Fleet. They're like Orlumbus's goons. Like that's the equivalent.
Yes. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. This is just like their Grand Fleet.
Yeah. And do you think so we initially said that the boat had the Alabasta logo. I think that's just the Ancient Kingdom logo, not the Alabasta logo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like,
because it's the exact same on the one on Joy Boy / Nika's shield.
I know. It's the same on like even like Skypiea had like a shield and like it had the exact same design. It's so fucking hard to say. Like maybe Alabasta inherited like the sun logo and became that.
Well, I think the allies of
definitely a sun. Like
yeah. The allies of the Ancient Kingdom adopted the sun logo in whatever way, you know?
So, even like the fishmen, like they took the sun as
because the king figure is like on the side of the city, it seems. And if that king figure is Emu, it looks like Emu is at least allied with the Ancient Kingdom, or maybe was the king of the Ancient Kingdom, you know?
Yeah, I can totally see that too. I really, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea that Emu was on the side of the good guys, and that's why they didn't see him coming.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't predict that, like, this would happen. And,
like,
yeah, there's a couple things I want to say about, like, just that side of the panel as well.
This side of the panel is the more interesting one, in my opinion.
I agree. Dude, Morris had an explanation for the people, and I think you were going to talk about it with, like, slaves and stuff. There's, like, there's an idea in there that is so fucking good, and it's about inherited will.
Yeah, like the people with halos, the ones that are going down, are the dead people, and if the energy is like someone's like dreams, that is being passed off to the people still alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think there's definitely something there. Like, I think that's a great read on like what's happening, like especially on like the right side of this little chain. I think that's a very good read on what's happening there. Like even if they die, their dreams pass on, and that's like human ingenuity and like everything, knowledge, everything, whatever. Like, I think that's a great read on it.
So the official translation was not the earth was engulfed by fire, but within the earth there was fire.
Yeah.
Which they're going down and they're coming out of the earth with stuff, right? That's like they're coming up the elevator with the stuff. Is it I mean, it's got to be something more magical than just geothermal energy, right? Like, it's got to be something more than that.
It was an advanced civilization. I mean, I guess the first world was probably not like advanced.
I don't think so. I think.
You think the first world was advanced? That's what you're saying.
I think.
You know for sure the second world was advanced.
The first world. I gotta cook, so I gotta cook. I think the first world might have been the moon. Potentially.
You gotta keep cooking.
What if the sky people with the little wings who can't fly on Earth because the bigger gravity are originally from the moon? Like, they are born from the moon. Their first advanced civilization was the one on the moon.
Okay.
And they were way more advanced than the people on the Earth. And they came down to the Earth because within the Earth was more power that they needed. And then let's say they subjugated the humans to work for them. Then the humans.
Wait, are we talking about the Skype, like Birkins and Skypeans?
Yeah.
I'm on the fence just because it makes more sense for it to be Lunarians.
But the Lunarians, they seem like they are modified. They seem like they are not original, like natural creatures. Especially because they have the fire. It seems like they have their power draws from this ancient source of power as well.
Okay, yeah, I like that. It seems like very in tune with the mother flame idea.
So like the little wings, they could fly on the moon. They can't fly on Earth because the gravity's bigger. So they modify themselves once they live on the Earth to have bigger wings. So the Lunarians are the modified versions of the Sky People who came from the moon.
Okay, but you're saying like originally they all had wings?
Like the sky, like there was Sky People who came from the moon, born from the moon. They're just the natural people of the moon.
And are you saying at the same time there were Earth people as well?
Just, yeah, normal humans on the Earth. And the Sky People advanced, and maybe like they sucked out all the energy from the moon, right? And so they came down. Because wasn't that what one of the panels of Enel's cover story was? Was that the moon city ran out of power?
Yeah, and then
exactly. Yeah,
I mean it's very. Okay, Enel's cover story is confusing as fuck.
Yeah,
it's like it's really confusing because like the story makes you believe the automatons are like from there, but like there's like a whole different automaton there that look identical to something that like people on Earth made. That one old guy on Earth made. You know what I'm talking about?
So the I think the automatons, based on the fact that they can run from electricity and not the mother flame.
Yes.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird and maybe inconsistent.
It is weird, and also there are aliens. Whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact that there are aliens means that there are life forms from the moon.
True.
So like.
True. Yeah, I guess that's. I guess you're.
And then
I
think the Lunarians are genetically modified Sky People because they harness the power, at least what it seems, from the mother flame, to have the durability and the speed. And their wings are bigger and they can fly on Earth.
Okay, I play devil's advocate here. Okay, I agree. I like your idea more than what I'm about to say. Okay, what if like we've heard, now we're getting ideas of, the giants diluting into buccaneers, ancient giants diluting into Oni. What if the Skypeans are just diluted Lunarians who came from space?
Maybe. But then why don't they have any of the mother flame powers?
Diluted?
Okay. I don't know.
No, I like your idea more.
So I think, I mean, thematically it might work where there's the cycle of the gods of the world subjugating the lower class, and then like during the Void Century, the humans get the upper hand and they get to flip it. And then, or like the humans try to fight back.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm sorry. My brain just ran like 5 seconds ahead of what you were saying, and there's something here. I just realized there's something here.
Like,
okay, hear me out. Okay, you're gonna finish what you're saying. Just like let me throw some pieces at you. Okay. The Lunarians, for sure, were the gods of the world who are on the red line. For sure, we know that, right? We say they were created by the Skypeans, right? Let's just say they were, right?
Yeah.
They were adapted to go to the moon. Maybe they like maybe the seraphim that are about to happen right now, they like go against their masters. Something like that happens, right? And the Lunarians have to escape, like go somewhere else. We know or not the Lunarians, sorry, the Skypeans.
Yeah.
We know for sure the Skypeans, the Shandians, and the Birkins were on the moon. We know that for sure. So they created the Arc Maxim to go to the moon. And that's what that is. And I've seen people say that that's Uranus and that's like Pluton. I think they're just two arcs. And now hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Maybe just historically there were two arcs to go between the other three worlds. The lower world, the Earth, like the surface world, and the sky.
Yeah.
And these three worlds, that's what Elbaph is using too now. The underground, surface world, the heaven realm. It's the same idea. The moon, the earth, and underwater. It's the exact same thing. But there's only 3 areas, so there's an arc between each area. So we have the Arc Noah between the surface and the water.
And then
we have the
Arc
Arc
Maxim.
Maxim between the moon
Yes.
and the surface.
Yes.
Maybe after the Skypians made the Lunarians and things went wrong, they were like, oh fuck, the Lunarians are like goated now and we fucked up everything. They created the Arc Maxim to lead the Sky People to the moon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's something there. There's got to be something there.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, dang, I think that's good. Where there's 2 arcs between the 3 worlds, and it's not it's not Uranus, but it could maybe also be Uranus. I don't know.
It could. But as of right now, I haven't seen any indication that the Noah and Pluton are the same. And I feel like if the Max
it would be,
Uranus,
I think it would be the Noah is connected to Poseidon rather than Pluton. Like
True.
I think it's still possible for each ancient weapon to have 3 parts, like the ship, the animal, and the person.
Okay, yeah, true.
Yeah.
I guess like in my head it made more sense that there were 3 weapons and 2 arcs, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, I was saying that like there's like consistent thematic parts of One Piece of breaking the cycle and ending the cycle of violence and subjugation, right? Like Fishman Island, that's literally exactly what it is. Dressrosa, I don't know, other stuff. But like the Lunarians were the gods of the world, could have been subjugating the humans. Looks like the humans were being put to work in the ancient kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Like the humans rise up, they're fighting the Lunarians. Joy Boy is going against the Lunarians. Emu, a human, finds the thread to flip the script and make the humans the gods of the world. And the fact that there's no Lunarians left and the only one was being tested on. If they used to be the gods of the world and now they're not, and now there's only one left and he's being tested on, it seems that Emu might have had an extreme vendetta against the Lunarians. So it might be a situation.
I want to say something else. What if Emu didn't even give a shit, but he convinced 19 other kings to give a shit, and they fucking?
It could be exactly.
You know what I mean?
It could be exactly like Hody Jones. Emu could be like Hody Jones, and it could be so like, peak, bro.
Dude, it's fucking real life, dude. Emu uses a political agenda to fucking weaponize like against like a minority race, or I guess they're the gods, whatever. But like they go against them and then like they wipe them out, and they're like, yeah, see, they were the bad guys, we killed them guys, and now we're the GOAT.
The breaking the cycle of violence is a common theme in One Piece. It could be hinting at the entire conflict of the Void Century.
Yeah,
I think.
And like pretty cool. the way that it's like it's all one big scheme, dude. Like Emu convinced like 20 kings to come together and be like, guys, no more kings, but
Loki king.
Emu is the king.
Or, you know how? Oh, this is crazy. Definitely not true. I don't know how this came about, but do Lunarians have red eyes? Is that something that they have?
Dude, I really thought they did, but I think Albert doesn't. Albert doesn't have, or well, I don't know why I call him Albert King. I call him by his legal name, dude.
Yeah, but
I use it.
No, none of them have red eyes because the Seraphim have star eyes.
Yeah, the Seraphim are weird, dude. Like, do they all have star eyes? Maybe they do.
All have star eyes.
Yeah.
But what if like Harold is an ancient giant who ripped out his horns, and Enno is a Birkin who may or may not have ripped out his wings?
Red eyes.
What?
King has red eyes.
King has red eyes?
Yeah, you just barely see them.
What if Emu was a Lunarian who ripped out his wings? It's like... Probably not.
Yeah.
But I think Enno definitely got the blueprints of the Arc Maxim from potentially the Birkin version of the Harley, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Because
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the Birkins would have like the blueprints of the ship their ancestors used to go to the moon.
Yeah.
Endless first. I'm pretty sure like Verth like has to
Yeah.
have like some. Sorry, I was thinking about this earlier when you talked about um within the earth there was fire,
Mhm.
right? I don't even know if I agree with this, but I'm just gonna say it, right?
Mhm.
What if the Forbidden Sun is the core of the
Like the
planet?
core of the earth, and
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
and that's why like the earth god got mad as fuck because they were fucking with the natural.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the the magnetism is all fucked up in the world.
True. True. Yeah, that's a good scientific, pseudo-scientific answer to
like
that.
like the earth's core got harvested for
Yeah, they were
maybe
like
the mother
harvesting.
the maybe the mother flame is in the center of the earth,
Right.
and it
Yeah.
got harvested and fucked up. Electromagnet shit got fucked up. That's why all the islands in the Grand Line are the way they are.
No, kid's ancestor awakened the magnet fruit and created all the island.
Kid's ancestor.
I don't fucking know.
Eustace Eustace Mid.
Eustace Mid, the actual Eustace Mid. Ah,
But uh and I think maybe that same god complex that we're talking about Emu having, NL saw the blueprints for the Ark. He saw his ability, and then that's why he
yeah,
destroyed Burka, was to keep this knowledge to himself.
yeah.
He saw. I mean, we know for sure that he has the knowledge of the fairy birth,
Yes, true.
which has to come from Birkin,
Somewhere. Yeah.
like myth or Birkin
Oh,
history. Has to come from
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, like that looks exactly like the Arc Maxim. He has to
Yeah.
know that somehow. So
Yeah.
I think it's
I
just
think yeah.
NL learned of the, and I think it would be cool if it was the Birkin version of the Harley, because Saul said that there were many different versions of the Harley.
Also, sorry, I just realized like if NL is like a parallel to Emu,
Mm,
like in if Skypiea is like a microcosm of the
mm.
story, whatever, NL destroying Burka is like Emu destroying the ancient kingdom. If
Yeah.
Emu was from the
Yes,
kingdom,
exactly. Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
out of that.
And there was a hole left behind from the Rygo. There's just a big
Yeah,
hole left
true.
behind from the Rygo.
Yeah. The Rygo and Uranus or whatever, like they're definitely like parallels
Okay, so I
between that.
think that means I do think that the Arc Maxim doubles as at least a part of Uranus.
I think there's definitely some. Okay, look, I think it's like the Uranus has to do with the sky, right?
Mhm.
Like there's something to
Mhm.
do with the sky. I think until we understand really, okay, so like it's so fucking hard to say because Poseidon is a person, Pluton
Yes.
is a like these two
Well,
things are like not related at
I
all.
think Poseidon is the only one that all the pieces have clicked together. There's a person who can control the Sea Kings to pull the Noah.
Yeah, I know, but like the conduit theory. Um, I mean, okay, so what would Uranus be in that case? Like,
I don't know. The
yeah,
egg,
it's
the Rogers egg.
yeah, it's all Roger's egg.
But I mean,
So
there's also Momo and can talk to Zunisha, who can bring down the walls and free Pluton. Like that's another trio that's there.
yeah, yeah, it's true.
So
Um,
I mean,
sorry, I
then
just realized you were joking about the egg, but I was like, wait, what the fuck? Where is that egg? Like, what if it's on Elbaph, dude? What if like the egg hatched and it's with Gabon right now?
yeah, Gabon has the egg. That'd be fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry. Yeah.
what if it's a dragon egg? I mean, we see the dragon up there. What if there's a dragon egg?
I like the idea that there were definitely dragons at some point.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Because the government was telling Vegapunk to make dragons based
yeah,
on his
exactly.
experiments on Punk Hazard,
Yeah, and like
and the Ryuma myth of Ryuma slaying a dragon.
it's got to be real.
It's got to be.
I think a dragon. I think dragons definitely existed. I'd even go as far to say Emu was a fan of dragons, maybe, and
Yeah.
then maybe that's why he was like, you know what, we're the celestial dragons.
Yeah, maybe they're called celestial dragons because they took over where the the moon people from the sky, from the Celestials used to be.
Yeah, true.
And it was like,
True. I like that.
fuck you, we're here now. We're the Celestials. We don't care if you actually came from the moon. We're the
Yeah.
Celestials now.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And
I'm with
maybe
that. There's
maybe the bubble is like spacesuits.
Yeah, true. I was just about to say like there's always been like a weird like connection between in One Piece and I don't, this could just be like an Oda like funny thing, but like there's always been a connection between dragons and fish, like constantly throughout the entire series. You go to Ryugu Palace, like they have a dragon themed palace in Fishman Island.
Yeah, and like Kaido's fruit is the fish fruit.
Kaido's fruit is a fish fruit. The Celestial dragons are like kind of in fish bowls. They got like fish looking head things. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like multiple like parallels between fish and dragon. I don't know what the hell that could even mean, but
Emu's a fishman. That'd be crazy.
Yes, biggest twist. Emu is a fish man.
But what I was saying, the slaves under Merjois making that shit work could be Emu emulating the ancient kingdom, where the slaves look like they're the ones supplying the power source. And it could be this fucked up manual labor version of the slaves supplying the power to Merjois.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that even looks like a conveyor belt. Like
that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought about. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. There's definitely something there.
And like I think there might be some symbolism, or not symbolism, but like notion that the first world was very similar to our Earth in a way.
Yeah, I think okay, so when it says within the Earth, I think it's the first time in the story. I could be wrong about this. I think it's the first time in the story the Japanese kanji is the same as like our Earth's kanji.
So it's like this,
I don't think
this is our Earth, but in the future,
I don't know if that's Oda just being like, hey, it's the planet, but like, it's hard to say, but like, that's the first time in the entire. Someone pointed this out, maybe Artur or something, that like that Earth kanji it's the first time in the entire story that it's the same as like our Earth's kanji. Like whenever like One Piece references its own planet, it uses a different kanji or something. But again, this could be poetic. This could be like, maybe in Elbaph they use this kanji. I don't fucking know. Like there could be a million other reasons why, but yeah.
I had a list of things in my notes app that I wanted to get to. I don't know if I got to everything.
I mean, there's a lot. This fucking chapter has been another thing I wanted to mention was I was watching Roger's Base's stream on this, and he was talking about something I think I more or less agree with, and like the idea of like the sun god, the earth god, sea god, all these whatever gods, right? I don't think they're actual gods. I think like
they're just representation or depictions.
They're either representation. Yes, I think they're either things or just like a very influential person or something like that. Like I think like the one that stuck out to me was the forest god, and they tame demons or whatever the hell that is. I think it's just like if you saw like a tree with like special fruit or something, you're like, oh yeah, the forest god like made that. It's like. It seems like either that was the revelation that happened, or maybe the person who was behind that, or the scientist behind the forest, or the tree who like made the fruits or whatever, like they're the forest god. It's like some shit like that.
I think still a big question is how the red line was formed. Like what happened to form the red line.
About that, ever since the chapter I've been thinking about, and I have no answer at all.
I saw a comment which is probably not the case, but I thought was cool. If this big world serpent did exist, what if it was a Mero no Mi petrification of the world serpent? that turned into stone.
It's a crazy big animal.
And that's why Blackbeard asked Hancock if a new user could undo the petrification.
Did he ask that?
He asked that. And then she said no. Only I don't know how she would know that, but she said only the person who freezes them can undo it.
Okay.
Definitely not the case. I just thought that was kind of like a crazy crack theory.
I mean, it is kind of weird that Blackbeard asked that, but yeah.
Like, why does he want that fruit? And then he seemed disinterested in the fruit after Hancock said that the new user couldn't undo it.
I mean, was it because his like teammates got like frozen, and then he was like, "Yo, if I kill you and just do it myself, can I just do this?" Like,
yeah, yeah, I guess. Let's see.
But yeah, I have no idea like how. I remember like back when this even mattered anymore. This doesn't fucking matter anymore. But like back when like Oars had the continent puller name, people were like, "Oh, Oars might have like pushed the continent together, the one continent we have in this story."
Well, like the name of the Marriage Castle is Pangea Castle.
Pangea. Yeah, Pangea.
So maybe they know that everything used to be one continent. And then I like the idea that...
It used to be One Piece.
Oh, One Piece. I like the idea. I think the "and they will never meet" is either two people or just the two sides of the world after the red line was created.
That's kind of what, like, especially with the red line, like you put a wall between people, they will never meet. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I also like not that I want to get back to the red line, but like I also wanted to say the official translation not happening. Yeah, no. Okay. Another reason why I believe Emu was in the ancient kingdom was they said those are the half moon dreamed will of D, right? Like given, like for sure will of D. But then it says those are the moon dreamed. I'm like, oh, that could just be like people like Emu who are like they dreamed for like something, you know what I mean? And the moon is like the opposite of the sun. So like if you take it like in a very like, you know, literal like metaphor type of way, you get like, you know, those are the half moon dreamed, Joy Boy, Emu, those are the moon dreamed, like Emu. They both had dreams for like very different futures, maybe defeating Lunarians, whatever it was, right? They had different outcomes. Maybe like Joy Boy was like, I want to free the world. And Emu was like, I want to rule the world. You know, we're getting a very similar like Blackbeard situation, Luffy situation. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's hard to say.
What if that means... So if dreams and imagination is what creates devil fruits, what if those two lines are just that's how all the devil fruits got created? The two sides of the war, the Lunarians and the people of the D, the ancient kingdom, they both dreamed, they both created devil fruits and ate them. Like both sides had devil fruits.
Yeah, I really like the idea that devil fruits started from the second world.
Yeah. I don't think and like that I think the genetic modification started in the second world as well. Like the sky people started becoming the Lunarians during the second world.
Oh, really? I thought you were on when the earth god raged in the first world, you were thinking the Lunarians did that.
I was thinking, well, I don't know how the red line got created at all, basically. But
okay, wouldn't it make sense for like the first rulers of the red line to be the people who created the red line?
Yes, and I'm saying that might be a certain sect of the sky people who then became the Lunarians once they lived on the red line.
Okay. I get you.
And like the genetic, like they lived on the red line. Next, like they tended to the Eve tree. Maybe the Earth God was the god from the moon to all the people of the earth. They were the gods to the earth. And then once they lived on the red line, they were the forest god because they tended to the tree.
So so I'm up to speed. The Earth God in the first world is a sky person,
or just the sky people.
Sky people, my bad.
They were
okay, cool.
the Earth God because they were the god to all the people. They were the god of the earth. They ruled over the earth, and then
that works for me.
And then maybe the Earth God raged because the humans, the enslaved people, took the power source for themselves. Because they were being enslaved to give the sky people, in this hypothetical, the power of whatever the flame is. They were helping farm it, but then mankind touched the sun, which I assume is the mother flame, and then the Earth God, which would be the sky people, raged and created the red line, somehow dividing the world. And then
I just had like 3 more thoughts while you were talking.
And then the sky people, like a sect of them who lived on the red line now, with the Eve tree, tended to the Eve tree, used the ancient power somehow to create the devil fruits, and also genetically modify themselves with the flame to become the Lunarians. And then those people are the forest god. So it's just two ways of saying that these were the gods of the world at the time.
Okay.
And then if devil fruits, all it is just the mother flame bringing an imagination or a dream or a wish to life, Nika would just be the enslaved people's wish for a warrior of liberation. And then I guess if Eve is the birthplace of the devil fruits, the mother flame energy that maybe exists in the tree because it's the sunlight tree gave birth to the Nika fruit, because that concept existed in the slave's wish. I think. I guess that makes sense.
Say that last part again.
Like,
I kind of zoned out.
The reason why the sun god Nika manifested is because the slaves who touched the forbidden sun wished for a warrior of liberation to exist.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And then the power that creates the devil fruit somehow, which I think is somehow tied to the mother flame. The sunlight tree Eve, which is called the sunlight tree for some reason.
Yeah.
And it might be based on maybe its roots or in the core of the earth or whatever the fuck, and has the mother flame sucking up through it, you know?
Yeah.
That created the Nika fruit, and the first person to eat it became the first Nika.
Yeah, I'm with that. Also, like, I'm just realizing we have like some distinction between Nika and Joy Boy, and it's that Nika used a spear in the and Joy Boy has a sword.
Yeah,
a cool little distinction. But dude, I'm sorry, I was like thinking of something while you were talking about. I'm trying to find the raw scans for the chapter so I could like maybe like try to read it, because the reason I'm saying that is because when you were talking about the Skypeans being the Earth God, immediately I was thinking about Verth as then the concept. Remember, like when they were in Skypea, they had like statue of Verth. Like, what if that is a depiction of the leader of the Skypeans of that time, or something like that, you know?
Like the Skypeans treasured the Earth. If they were once the Earth God, something like that would be kind of cool.
There's something there. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it would be, but
it's interesting that. Hold on, dude. I was ranting in this notes app. What the fuck? The Cerberus fruit Blackbeard having the Cerberus fruit theory is not dead. Because
what?
You know the theory that Blackbeard has a Cerberus fruit, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's not dead because Blackbeard was a warlord they could have cloned the Cerberus fruit.
Okay.
Like they did to like Hancock's fruit.
We haven't seen successful clonings of Zoans yet. We've only seen successful clonings of the Paramecia through the green blood.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. Might be dead.
Yeah.
But let's see. People of the full
and I'm still old thought right now, but I'm still of the belief that Zoans are like actual, like there's like sentience in the fruit, and we know that like Gomu Gomu fruit was like looking for the next owner. But yeah, I think there's like actual sentience in the fruit, and that's why when smiles exist, like when they eat a smile, they get like an actual animal that like coincides with them. It's like they're separated but like stuck together. Whereas like, and like even Lucci says this, like when Lucci awakens, it means like they're
in line with each other.
They're like synergized. Yeah, they're one and the same. So like, yeah. But yeah.
I think like I said at the beginning, it's interesting to look at what is not in the mural and what that means.
Yeah, true.
People are saying that the emu figure is standing on Zunisha. I don't think so. It looks like a boat on top of a wave to me.
I've heard that take as well. I'm just like, if Oda wanted to make that look like an elephant, he could make it look like an elephant.
Like to me, it looks like a boat that is on top of a wave.
Yeah,
it has oars. Like he has oars.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it looks like a rowboat that is on top of a wave. Especially because Noah is going up through it. It's got to be water, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's got to be water. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Zunisha is missing in that case, which is odd.
Oh, dude, I just realized. Okay, this kind of breaks my theory of the tree being like the Eve tree. But if it was, I guess it could still be the Eve tree. But like, if it is, let's just say it is the Adam tree that we're on right now. We're on Elbaph, right? The wave is like going across the tree, and the tree is below the water. This is like implying that the sea levels have risen, and Noah's being used right now. Like the animals are walking at the very bottom of the tree, and Noah's coming up. It seems like it's saying like, yeah, the sea level.
Yeah,
that's like definitely what that.
That's definitely what it is. Like the sea level is rising. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I do think that this is not. I think this is Adam, not Eve. If it was Eve, the tree. If it was Eve, the tree would be 1 glowing. 2, it would have the fucking bubbles around it. 3, it would probably have devil fruits on it. I think this is Adam because I think the war did happen on or near Elbaph because it was Warland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. I'm with that.
So I think it's Adam just because of that. Yeah, and especially because we see people and animals walking up it.
Yeah.
And that goes with the theory that Elbaph was won by the giants because they were the most powerful race because it was the most sought after land when the sea levels were rising.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So Zunisha's missing. The Straw Hat is missing. Joy Boy or the Nika figure does not have a straw hat, and he did in the silhouette when he was talking to Emmett. So potentially Joy Boy could have done a Roger thing where he gave Emmett the knot. He could have done a Roger thing where he wore the straw hat after the war. He gave the knot to Emmett and he knew he was going to die. So he did some preventative measures to look out for the future. Yeah. And I don't know what happened to the straw hat, but maybe he started wearing it after.
The Will of D had to have started from this battle, right?
Yeah.
Like that. What if passing on the straw hat was like the first action of that? Like actually like passing on the Will of D situation. Sorry, I'm sorry that I keep tangenting off things, but like I just realized not that there's no way this is to fucking scale, but if it is to like some relativity that we can see a giant and the bigger thing is probably the ancient giant, and then we see something bigger than that, and it's the fucking monster, whatever the fuck it is, right? That could be something that is like that could hold the giant sword on Elbaph.
Yeah, that.
You know what I mean? Like that's like a scale that could hold that fucking giant sword.
That it is comparable size to the tree. Yeah. And the sword was comparable size to the tree.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, of course this is a mural drawn by some kids.
Yeah.
It's not going to be to scale, but you're right that sword could be this giant demon sword.
Yeah.
Especially if the war happened on Elbaph.
It really seems like it probably did.
Also,
like before it was called Elbaph, maybe it was called Warland. That's why.
I think if the will of D is the half moon, the people of the half moon, there are two sides of the moon. There's the light side and the dark side. So that could be something, could lend something to why people like Rox and Blackbeard have D.
I mean, it's what we've been kind of getting these last couple chapters about, like, was Nika the god of liberation or destruction?
Yeah, there's two sides of it.
Exactly. I think Nika had, or not Nika, Joy Boy or whatever, whoever did it first, whatever, had their own way of going about it, and it was interpreted differently. Like the will of D was passed on, but like misconstrued maybe, or something happened where they were like, "This is my version of that."
I think the first world calamity ended with a complete and total wipe of the world. I think
so.
I think. And then the Lunarians or the Sky People sort of existed on there, but they continued the technological strength and ability, and then the humans rose up and stole it or whatever. Like if there was, like, I don't think the humans ruled until Emu took over, I think, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. My reading of, like, okay, I think humans definitely survived the first calamity, right?
Yeah.
They have to have
Yeah.
I think my reading of it is, like, let's say human got too close to the sun, like, Icarus story, and they were probably like the sun god or whatever, right? Got too close to the sun, the Lunarians or the Skypeans or whatever, they were pissed off. They moved to the red line. They created the red line. They moved up there, and maybe that's just like where it was goaded, and they left all the humans starve or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they just did not watch the humans for like 800 years, let's say, right? Within that time, the humans got goaded. Is like what probably.
Like I think there's some remnant from this first world that persisted into the second world. Like if there was a first Nika that participated in something that caused the first calamity, he had to have gotten defeated because the slaves reached for the sun and the sun god was born. So the oppressed class created Nika somehow.
Yeah.
So he had to have lost the first time, risen up a second time, and then maybe got betrayed by Emu. And now this third time, the third Nika will get the comeuppance for the betrayal, I believe. Yeah. And I think the goal, like Luffy's dream, will be some version of making everybody in the world live freely, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. And I'm just thinking about the idea that I think, like Roger, I wonder if Joy Boy like lived a little longer after the war to see Emu's reign happen. I don't think Joy Boy died here, and the reason I'm saying that is because we know for sure he apologized for failing.
Yes,
to live up to the promise.
He apologized for failing, and we know that there had to have been some knowledge that they were gonna lose because they made the poneglyphs.
Yes,
and
at Shandora there was a battle to protect the poneglyphs.
Yeah.
So it was deep.
Yeah, so they had to have known they were gonna lose. Joy Boy gave the knot to Emmett for the future, to protect the future. They made the poneglyphs. They created whatever the will of D is to pass it on to the future because they knew they were going to lose. So I don't think Joy Boy died in the war.
Yeah. I think the will of D, like the best parallel we've gotten to it is the half moon tattoo in Wano.
Exactly.
It's the exact same thing. They lost the battle 20 years ago, but they're like, we'll carry this message on. So when the fight does happen, we're all together. That's the will of D. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. And I think in ways what Roger did is another way of doing it. Yeah.
True.
But I also think
Roger did like the craziest way where he set up the third era.
Yeah. I think, well, like we said that the 5, or I guess is it 4 or 5, whatever, the daimyos of Wano, except for Kurozumi, they all have Suki in their name. And if Suki is moon, and if D is half moon, then that might be just the Wano version of passing down the will of D in their names, which would in turn make Zoro a D, or make Momo a D, and make Oden a D. Which would be kind of fire.
It would make Tashigi a D, bro. Like,
would it?
If Tashigi is like the theory of Tashigi being like a Shimotsuki who left Wano, like, and then they had like, that's why she looks like Kuina. Like,
maybe that make Kuina a D. It make goddamn Koza Buro a D. It make but I mean, Oden died with a smile. It would make sense if he was a D. It would make so much sense if he was a D.
I agree. I'm completely with that.
Let's see. Do I have anything else? Oh, anything that would be Blackbeard pilled is not here, which means I think, and it's fire that he's not. I think Blackbeard is really a wild card, in no way related to the prophecy. He's doing his own thing. He's gonna fuck shit up just like he did at Marineford. He came in at the end, fuck shit up. That's what I think is gonna happen. Blackbeard's gonna have his own agenda. This whole prophecy shit from the Void Century and like the first and second world and the third world, it's gonna be Luffy as the new Nika versus Imu. It's gonna be like exactly like the prophecy, but Blackbeard's gonna completely fuck it up and it's gonna go off the rails. I think that's at least what I think is gonna happen.
I don't know. I think I'm like with the idea of Blackbeard being the wild card and stuff, and I think to an extent he is. But I think like Blackbeard follows the same procedure of Rocks, who in turn follows the same checkered fate of like a Loki like character. They're all kind of almost right. You know what I mean? Like Blackbeard, yes, he's evil, yes, whatever, but like he believes dreams never die. You know what I mean? Like he believes in things that are so intrinsically in tune with like Luffy and being a pirate. It's just like flipped. It's like the like it's like a thin ice and like it's shattered and he's on the other side of it. And I think, Rocks, we don't know anything about Rocks yet, but the fact that he was able to gain, Whitebeard and Kaido, like someone who's like, horrible and also someone who's like altruistic and kind of good, like there's something there. Like Rocks was probably, he's the world government says he's the worst person alive, but the world government says that, he could have been kind of good. Maybe again, like maybe Roger and him just disagreed on like one thing. And that's what like caused them to like fight or whatever. I think Loki is in a very similar boat. I think Loki has more pretense to be like a good natured character, but he killed his dad. He like did like these horrible things, arson, whatever. But if next chapter was revealed that Loki was a D, I would not be surprised at all. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, of course. But yeah, shit like that.
I think there are 3 things that I want to say before we end.
Yeah,
one,
for sure.
Kaido has an attack called Conquer of 3 Worlds Ragnarok.
Yes, I saw that. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Does he know?
I think there's something there because his all his attacks like Ragnarok and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he had Ragnarok.
And he
I
wanted
think
to be Joy Boy.
yeah. Oh my god, I really fucking want Kaido lore, dude. I'm hoping, and it's funny because like last video when I talked about like I immediately thought about Kaido after seeing Harold. I saw like 5 other people point that out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this looks exactly like Kaido. I really want there to be
I
some.
think I think
Give me
there's
more
I think
Kaido.
there's gonna be more because
I really want it, dude.
because he
I
has
said this.
horns. He's got to be connected
I
some way to ancient giants. He's on Rox's crew, so we're at least when we get Rox's explanation, he's gonna be there. So
Yes,
like,
yes. Totally.
yeah,
I just need more because I say this all the time. I'm the biggest Wano critic, but I think Kaido's actually underrated. I think he's an underrated villain. I think people don't understand that there's more to his madness that he showed, and like I think people write him off as one note compared to like Doflamingo or whatever. And like I'm not saying he's better than Doflamingo, but I think he's so underrated. I think he's so interesting. Oda just fucked Wano ending.
the second thing,
Yeah.
the whale in the picture
Oh
does
yeah.
not look like Laboon.
He
It
doesn't.
has the I don't know what they're called, like the lines on it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the whale tree on Zoe.
Yes, true, true.
So,
Absolutely true.
potentially that whale is petrified in some way and like was the whale from the war, or it's just I mean, I don't know. That tree looks exactly like a whale for some reason.
And I mean, the way I read it was like maybe the tree is to honor this whale.
Yeah.
Like they carved it out to like look like this
Yeah.
whale.
Also, there's. I think one of the things that's the most overlooked is the rain. I don't know
Yeah.
what it means. There was the rain god from Skypiea. It to me it either looks like the whale is bringing in the rain, or the big demon is like arcing over and calling down the rain, like with his I don't know.
I'm gonna
the
say something.
The hand that's up in the air.
I'm gonna say something, okay? It's probably very intentional that the whale, which would most likely only make sense to be in the sea, which is where all the boats are, to be in the sky. That's probably very intentional. And like sky whales, like that's like a thing in fiction, right? Like sky whales, like
Yeah.
like
yeah.
in
Yeah.
other like that exists.
Like the
So I wonder.
like what if that's sky that's like the whales from the white sea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's something like that. Then they were raised, they got like extincted or something, or maybe they fell to the surface and became like the laboon whales or whatever.
You know what's kind of crazy?
What?
The smokestacks, or like the city is producing smoke, right? And
Oh, you think
they're-
it's using island like clouds?
it might be island clouds, and you know what is the element that creates the island clouds?
Pyroblin?
Mother Flame? Pyroblin?
I mean, Vegapunk could do it.
Vegapunk
he's-
made it,
he's-
and he had the Mother Flame.
As
What if
like
it's
something, yeah.
what if it's called Pyro? Because why would else would it be called Pyroblin? It's got the root of fire in it, and it has nothing else
Yeah.
to do with fire. What if it's the exhaust of using Mother Flame?
Mother flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because they don't. It doesn't seem natural. The Sky Islands don't seem natural. Yeah, I'm not against that at all.
That might be fire.
Yeah, I'm not against that at all. Like, islands were created as a byproduct of using the mother flame.
Yeah, it's like it's the exhaust whatever.
Yeah.
There's one more thing, and it's that this was pointed out that the markings on Loki, or not Loki's, but the ancient giant's belt are the same
Thor's?
as the serpent.
Oh.
Look,
Wait, what?
the belt of the ancient giant are the same markings as the serpent.
Oh, okay, I see it.
And
See it,
also, if you look above the moon in between the pages, one of the planets has that same marking.
Oh, what the fuck? I did not notice that.
I have no idea what that could mean. But those three things do have that same marking.
The fuck? The ancient giants came from space, bro.
I mean, maybe. Maybe there's just like multiple aliens.
I was thinking of. Wait, let me just look this up to make sure it's true. I saw someone say it. No, never mind. It's nonsense. I think I saw someone say that like the belt or whatever that the giant was wearing is the same one that Ors was wearing, but it's not true.
It could be Or's dad.
It actually could be Or's dad. Like that's
it could be Big Or Senior. It could be Big Or Senior and then Ors and then Little Ors Junior.
That's really. It seems like an Oda thing to do, honestly. So I would love that.
I'm gonna call him Big Or Senior until proven otherwise.
That is Big Or Senior. He's gonna appear in the story like 200 chapters from now, and we were like, what?
Big Or Senior, bro.
Whole time his name is like Jimbo or something. Like,
yeah.
Fire. What do you think about the fish?
I think it's a sea king. It's right under the mermaid princess. It's got to be a sea king.
Oh, you know what's so hilarious? Like sea kings to like giants, like maybe they're just like fish. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like they were like,
right?
oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. A giant child would draw a sea king just like a regular fish.
Real fish, yeah.
Also, what's missing from this are buccaneers.
Yeah.
Unless
I mean, what if Joy Boy's a buccaneer?
Yeah, true.
I'm still team Joy Boy's a buccaneer.
But what if he looks
a little bigger,
like the one that everyone's assuming is just a regular Elbaph giant is a buccaneer instead of a giant. The one because those look like ears rather than like horns, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was just like a Viking helmet type situation.
But they're stylistically different than the ancient giant.
Are you saying like the big person we thought was an ancient giant is just a regular giant then?
No, he could probably still be an ancient giant, but the Buccaneers, I don't know. No, I don't think so. Actually, it's Emu's a Buccaneer. Is that what you said?
I said Joy Boy's a buccaneer. Yes, Emu is a buccaneer. Yeah. That'd be fire.
I think my prediction that I feel most strongly about this is that the big demon dude is not Emu.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I think that might be just a depiction of the big scary Lunarian that is like the Emu figure of the second world.
Yeah.
Like the person who is in the exact spot that Emu is in now, like the king of the world. And I think that just
an idea. Mm-hmm. I just had an idea. Mm-hmm. And it's based off what you said. Mm-hmm. What if like this figure on the left, what if that's when the Skypeans, this is like headcanon world, but like what if when the Skypeans were making the Lunarians, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, what if this is the one that just went like the worst? This is like the worst case scenario. Yeah. Like they were like experimenting on like giant size like Lunarians or something like that, and like this is like the worst experiment gone wrong.
Like this is what happens when he holds the entirety of the energy source, like he's doing right now. Exactly. Like this is what happens when it's fully powered. Max Lunarian is this
flying too close to the sun. Too close to the sun.
Yeah. Like I just the big black wings are what are doing it to me. Like that does not look like what Emu transformed into. The black wings only mean one thing, and it's like, Lunarian to me.
Honestly, like just based off what you just said, big black wings, the giant horns. Like, what if it's like a fucking ancient giant Lunarian, like some crazy bullshit? Like,
And maybe his skull is Onigashima.
I was thinking about that. But I was like, I forgot the scale of Onigashima. I mean, not that Oda's like been consistent with
No,
scale
it's
ever.
fucking huge.
It's huge, right? It's like
No,
way bigger.
it's way bigger than Oars.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah. This could literally be it. This could literally be
yeah.
the skull.
Yeah.
This could be Onigashima.
Like Onigashima could be the skull of the previous king of the world. That would be sick.
Exactly. Yeah.
and his sword could be the one that's stuck in Elbaph right now. If he's the fucking gigantic kaiju lunarian ancient giant combo that has the full power of the Mother Flame. That could just be the biggest fucking crazy shit ever.
How befitting of like the strongest creature in the world, Kaido, to be like using that as
the previous strongest creature in the world.
Yeah.
I'm full. That's my agenda. Is that this is not Emu?
Oh, I'm 100% on board with that.
Yeah.
I'm like 100% on board with that. That is my agenda too now. I like that a lot.
That's gonna be the thumbnail. It's gonna be pointing to that, and it's gonna be not Emu. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
It's really good.
All right. Unless you have anything else, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's good, and I'm excited for next chapter.
It's gonna come out tomorrow. Oh my god,
that's just good, bro. Easy, bro. Oda's gonna hit us with some crazy shit next week. I can tell. Not like lore crazy like this, but like some crazy. My friend was like texting me about this, and he was like, "Okay, if Oda's dropping all the lore now, that means we're just gonna like straight fights like after this."
Yeah,
like it's gonna be like,
I think Elbaph might be shorter than we think.
I'm a big firm believer of the parallel storyline theory, and if this is the Amazon Lily, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what else is there? We have the big lore shit that we figured out. We've got the Holy Knights going back for reinforcements. As soon as they come back, what's left? To go to heaven? Like, that's the only thing left, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually,
just like back on my parallel storyline agenda. Rayleigh attachment to Amazon Lily, Gaban attachment to Elbaph. They both have like wives on those islands. Parallel storyline theory, dude. Parallel storyline theory.
That would be fire. That would be fire.
Yeah.
Wait, that'd be sick.
I'm telling you, bro. Parallel storyline theory.
And then Impel Down's next. Impel Down's next. Impel Down 2.
Impel Down 2 is
happening.
It was happening. That's the next arc, dude. It's gonna be fire.
It might. It looks like it might happen.
I'm down for that. Hell yeah, man.
The Cross Guild Impel Down 2.
Yeah. I'm so fucking down for that. I'm psyched.
Cross Guild is also something that does not fit into this whole framework that we're getting here.
Oh no, you see the boat in the very bottom? That's Cross Guild. That's
Buggy. That's Crocodile.
Yeah, exactly. And Mihawk. See that one guy with the sword? That's Mihawk.
Oh.
And then you see Kid and Law are there too.
Oh, I think I see Basil Hawkins in there too. Didn't he die?
No, he's back for this one. It's actually fucking hilarious. The people who think like this is the real like the modern day crew and they put Leo in there. It's like, bro, shut the fuck. What the fuck are you talking about? Why would they include Leo in there?
They include Leo, but not like Zoro.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, Leo is more important to the story than like everyone else. Like literally anyone else.
I think.
So funny.
I think, you know what is actually interesting is if this whole hypothetical world where it is Lunarians versus humans.
Yeah.
There is a Lunarian on Joy Boy's side.
Yeah. I mean
that makes sense. If there's a righteous Lunarian who's like, fuck, it got out of hand. I'm sorry, guys. Like, there have been celestial dragons that aren't necessarily good, but celestial dragons that have empathized with humans. There could have been like the Mjosgard of the Lunarians. That could be him.
I agree with that too. I'm with that too. Especially like if this coincides with like, Emu also having an agenda against the Lunarians, and like, there's something there too. But yeah, I mean, I'm still on I still think this is not Emu, and Emu was a schemer and plotter and cheesed their way.
Emu was the Blackbeard of the Void Century.
Yeah, I'm totally with that. Emu's cheesing their way to the top.
He wanted to be king of the world, and he succeeded.
Yes,
and now Blackbeard wants to be king of the world.
Blackbeard wants to be king of the world. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
So now Luffy has to not let Blackbeard fuck it up, and just do the whole cycle over again.
Yeah.
Like the Lunarians were the gods. The humans fought back against the gods, but there was a fucking schemer who became the god, and now the humans are fighting back against the gods, and there's a fucking schemer who wants to be king of the world.
Yeah, exactly. This is all agenda for Blackbeard to be the final villain and not Emu.
Yes.
The schemer comes on top.
Yeah. And he knows that dreams will never die. He knows that dreams have limitless power potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
also, what if that's why he can eat multiple devil fruits? Because it's dream power and he never sleeps, so he doesn't dream.
I forgot we don't even know what the hell that's about still. The fact that he doesn't dream. Blackbeard, I can't wait for the Blackbeard flashback. That's gonna be that's gonna be a banger, dude. It's gonna be a fucking banger.
I feel like it's gotta be so back to back to back to back, just insane shit. Because we've got so much left that we need.
There's so much, dude. Like we need a Void Century flashback. We might need a first world.
We might need a first world flashback.
You might need that, yeah.
Like, it's crazy that Oda's like, all right, you guys have been wondering about the Void Century this whole time. This has been the big mystery this whole time. Turns out there's another one way far back.
Yeah. It's so funny. And I'm like 90% sure like the Joy Boy era story was like them uncovering that as well.
Yeah.
Like
them learning what this ancient power source was and then using it to their advantage in what the ancient kingdom is. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
Just like what Vegapunk is doing. Like what Vegapunk is doing. He's uncovering the ancient power source. But
and I bet the situation with Emu right now is like there was a scientist in the ancient kingdom, and he probably made like a buttload of this power source, and Emu was like, all right, I'm good for 800 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But now Emu's like, fuck, I am running out of this shit. So
or Emu knew the past cycle and that the oppressed people got their hands on it and then revolted. So this time Emu is hiring Vegapunk, the smartest person, to get it for himself instead. Like, he knows that the people will eventually find it and use it against the gods, so he's trying to preemptively get the Mother Flame before the oppressed people do.
Right. Yeah. No, I like that too. Like, Emu's like 9 steps ahead of
it happened before. He wants to prevent it from happening again. That's why, I don't know, they fucking, in that case, I have no idea why they didn't like fucking lock the fucking Nika fruit up and throw away the key and like burn it alive or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's sentient, so.
Yeah, but it's a fruit.
Yeah, I guess at some point, like, maybe someone ate it and like through that, like, it moved around. Fuck, I was just about to say something. Oh my god, I was just about to say something. I completely lost it.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's gone. Whatever.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Whole Cake Homies. If you listen to this whole thing, that's crazy. We're gonna do more tomorrow. We're gonna do more tomorrow. I think the chapter is gonna come out tomorrow, but we're gonna do more tomorrow. Subscribe. Let's get to 10 subscribers. Yeah.
10 subs. 10 subs.